Hello dear friends, let's talk about problems of Opel Vectra C. The previous generation of Vectra has drawn a rightly bad picture in terms of reliability. The third generation is of much higher quality, though some problems may still arise. For gas engines, failures can be water pump alternator and ignition system, but they are not widespread. For gasoline engines, check the cooling system for leaks and check for oil leaks. On gasoline models, the reason why the engine failure light is on may be that the ECU cable rubbed against the engine head screw. Gasoline engine. Engine shaking, engine idle speed high, no suction valve response, engine shut down, fault codes P1525, P1526, P1550, P1555. Soiled valve suction, remove and clean. The engine shakes while driving, goes off at idle or hard start. The reason may be the connector or the engine temperature sensor itself. Check the connector and sensor and replace it if necessary. Breakdown of a fuel pump on 2.2 gasoline direct injection engines. 2.2, the 16V petrol engine, is known to block the drive chain due to lack of lubrication, probably as a result of running the engine with dirty oil due to prolonged oil change intervals. Opel later made modifications to the nozzles chain lubrication. With the DTI, there is a problem of coolant leakage. What is needed is a tube inspection and replacement. Turbine. Models from 2002 have a risk of turbine failure in DTI engines. It sometimes leads to increased engine oil consumption. Another problem in the safety is the safety mode of the engine, due to the too narrow tolerance range for the turbo. The ECU of the engine must be reprogrammed. It is quite common for a DI engine to enter safety mode because of a problem with EGR valve. On a 2.2 diesel engine, the penetration of air through the nozzles can cause poor starting. Occurrence of oil consumption problem at 2.2 DI. Vectra C 2.2 with AF23/AF33 automatic transmission may have minor coolant problems. Sludge in coolant expansion tank, occasional drive loss, memory errors P0700, P0715, O0720. Problem in oil cooler ring on automatic transmission. Take off black cover of the transmission valve body, and if you find water or white residue on the cover, replace the transmission and radiator on the transmission. EGR valve. Models 2.0 and 2.2 had problems due to possible blockage of EGR valves. The result is a loss of engine power. The valve needs to be replaced or cleaned. 1.9, 120 horsepower and 150 horsepower diesels have a toothed belt, not a chain like a previous 2.0 and 2.2 diesel engines. On the 1.9 CDTI, the timing belt drives the water pump, and a water pump failure can break the belt, which can cause engine damage. Therefore, always change the water pump when changing the timing belt and replace the timing belt regularly. With the Opel Vectra B diesel engine, the high-pressure pump electronics Bosch pump could be repaired. The Vectra C in the first models used high-pressure pump electronics like the Vectra B, after which high-pressure pumps with integrated electronics were installed, so electronics were not repaired, but just replacing the whole pump. The 1.9 diesel engine may be good to run, but it has a problem with failure of the suction line. Damper can enter the engine. EGR and DPF filter failure. 1.9 CDTI engine. DPF filter, power loss problem, engine failure lights illuminates, memory errors, P1901. DPF filter clogged due to the frequent short runs and cold starts. Check all components of the DPF filter system. If all components are in order, the upgraded software should be inserted into the engine ECU DPF filter regeneration. Camshaft 3.0 V6 CDTI replaced in service due to lack of lubrication. This may be related to problems with the same engine in Saab 9 and 5. The issue with the 3.0 V6 diesel exhaust seems to be a problem. Saab advises that the oil level of the 3.0 V6 diesel engine should be checked on a hot engine after standing for 5 minutes. It appears that firing the clutch pedal return spring may contribute to a faster clutch failure. After firing the clutch pedal return spring, the sound and space of the pedal can be heard. The clutch pedal return spring firing. Diesel cars with automatic transmissions have a problem with the coolant radiator failure, bursting on the transmission, and the mixing of the coolant in the ATF oil and the transmission malfunction. Also, the problem with the 6-speed automatic transmission, the inner overflow pipe is too short, which goes to the gearbox. They are not properly filled with fluid, and the subsequent result of a sudden change and possible failure of speed. Floating flywheel and clutch failures on 2007 models. Handbrake failure reports. They then live in the gear. Parking tips. Always use the parking brake, taking care not to press the button on the lever. To reduce the power required, depress the foot brake pedal at the same time. Before switching off the ignition, with manual transmission engage reverse if facing downhill or first gear if facing uphill. With the automatic transmission, select position P on the transmission. Complaints about the squeak of the front trap later identified as loose radiator brackets. The front trap is mostly likely to fail by the persistent clips and ends of the steering crack when the entire aluminum forks change in the bolt gap, while the upper trap is a problem with the upper forks, balance rod racers, and power blocks. When the front bearings is replaced, the wheel and the ABS sensor are replaced, most severely damaged in the first series of 2002. In some models, poor rear axle factory adjustment results in premature tire wear on the rear axle. Some models have had issues with uneven front wheel wear. The instrument vary, the ABS indicator lights up, memory errors indicate the wheel speed, the sensor. There may be poor contact between installation in the ABS module. For some cars, the back seat of luggage compartment lighting will not work. Optional 90-inch alloy wheels prone to cracking due to bad roads, line cups, and potholes. There are climate problems. Locking mechanism. Between 3 and 4 years, the driver's door lock mechanism breaks down. Electric windows. Models manufactured by 2003, they had problems with the power windows. Radio. Frequent radio malfunctions, which must be replaced. The headlights fade over time. CIM. Model electronics problems. When mentioning the Opel Vectra, the words reliability, luxury, and style must be used. The new Vectra represents a major improvement over the older models, offering better equipment, comfort, character, and desirability. Entering the new Vectra, we notice the quality of workmanship that is at the level of the more prestigious manufacturers. When it comes to its reliability and practicality, we believe that there will be no rapid decline in price, which is why we recommend this car.
Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and if you're the owner of this car, then share your experience. It will help others to choose a car. Goodbye.